AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
JC, I see you, JC. We gotta buy some time because you know we need the notifications to hit. Hit the like button while you're in here, guys. Only like what? It's 4 of you guys on AllBall TV, apparently, allegedly. Get in the building. Tell a friend, baby Bubba. Big Baby Sports.
It's my guy right there, Big Baby. What up, Big Baby?
New York on Delancey. He's saying, JC, you got anger management issues. JC, he want to hear this. Off-season strikes, and these MFers don't say anything. BS content. LeBron is staying with the Lakers, you goofies. AllBall's an undercover bronze sexual for this one. I wouldn't be surprised if AllBall sneaks into the Knicks locker room to steal LeBron's undies if it happens. How did you even imagine that?
Please.
Georgie Ortiz, he said, what's the bochinche today? Big sale. Big flea.
What's good, brothers?
King Speech is going on, man. I seen you on there last night going bananas. Oh.
Ho. The beautiful, the lovely, the extravagant. Darlene Bryant, the ladies is in the building, y'all. Good evening, Darlene. Y'all know the drill. Speak to the ladies and please be respectful.
Darlene B, what up, baby?
Get it together.
Yes. Quantum Pin, what up, baby? Big Baby Sports. Hit that like button, y'all. Come on now. Hit that like button. Worst fight. Everybody laughed at me. Niggas ain't even watching the finals. Look. Hey, Fabian. Flea try to be so serious all the time, right? He knows sometimes I'm right, but he don't never want to agree with me. Flea couldn't even keep a straight face when I said that shit. That's confirmation for me. I'm not saying nothing about it no more.
Yo, I'm watching it, right? Because you know you love the game. I'm watching it, right? But the feel, right? Let's be honest about it.
Nothing there.
We know what it feels like watching the NBA Finals when the best of the best is playing, right? These teams are good. They're good teams. It's just,
listen. Adam Silver said this shit is so trash. I'm not promoting it. I'm not making the arenas look like it's the NBA Finals. The courts is regular. Like, this shit is embarrassing. And Flea, you correct. There is no feel. None at all.
The aura around the biggest final, like, I don't know. Like, it's different.
You spreading the games out 3 days like, yo, bro, listen.
King Speech, I'm a savant, nigga. I give classes, baby. I'm gonna start signing you niggas up. I give classes. Don't ever
King, this is a great. Go ahead, Flea, I'm sorry.
Casuals in this don't even apply. Don't even do it to yourself, big dog. We love you, big dog.
Where's this school? Do you take financial aid?
Huh?
Do you take financial aid?
For sure, absolutely. I get free classes because a lot of niggas just need it. They can't afford it, so we just gonna give them for free. A lot of niggas can't afford it, so we just gonna pull up and have niggas for free.
The beautiful, the lovely, the extravagant. Tori B is in the building, y'all. We have the ladies of AllBall TV both in the building tonight. Hey, shout out Tori B, Darlene Bryant, man. Y'all know the drill, man. Yeah, y'all put a wave and put a thumbs up, man. Say what's up to the ladies, man. Because come on, man. They show love and they know what the hell they talking about.
Yes.
Let's
Tori,
go, Faye.
She knows what it is, man.
You know it's love, King Speech. We take food stamps, checks, whatever, baby. Whatever.
Oh, count me out. I will never be in that class. You kidding me? Where's the bougie class?
Did y'all grow up in the hood where you could get the hot food with the food stamps, or y'all was dead on that?
Did you grow up when you had cash food stamps, bro?
I don't know about that.
Exactly. With the book, you know nothing about this young pup.
I don't know about that.
What you talking about?
I know the card. I know the card. You can make the card.
Let me explain something to y'all. I come from the era with the book where You could buy whatever you wanted with that bitch, whether it was hot food,
Whatever.
cold food, cigarettes, liquor, juice. Yeah, listen.
Well, except I tried the cash. That's when I learned what food stamps was. I tried the cash. I always tell the story. Remember Time Crisis, where you could chop somebody's arms up with a chainsaw in the arcade?
Yeah.
Oh, the game.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that.
I went to Luis's store. I said we were in Corona, on the corner. I don't know. Yo, these kids can't even go to the corner anymore. We used to go to the corner by ourselves. It's like mad hype. Like, yo, let me get changed so I can go play the game. Luis was like, yo, man, you gotta go buy something with that, man. I'm like, what does that mean? That's when I learned. Food stamps don't pay for everything, old boy.
Listen, wherever I come from, if Popeye in the store thought you was cool, you was good. Now the asshole kids, he'll do you dirty. But the cool kids,
yeah, he'll look out.
Bro, yeah, listen, it was no limitation with the book. I'm sorry. Real talk.
Wait, King's Speech said your moms had a picture on the food stamps?
No, he said your mama's so broke they put her face on the food stamps. That was a joke.
Oh.
That free.
But before we start,
hold on.
Like
you just made King's Speech's point.
Yeah, like I wouldn't get. Exactly. I love it.
Somebody,
I love it.
Before we get started, somebody I seen in the comment, which is true. When your mama gave you that book, and you had to go to the store, that shit was so embarrassing. Listen, you have to be like a secret agent. Look. Like you ain't want nobody seeing you had that book, bro. What? Niggas will roast you all day with that. But the only place I didn't take those was Mr. Softy. Listen,
so you couldn't get ice. Yeah, how you gonna give Mr. Softy food stamp? What he gonna do with that?
What you mean? Wait a minute.
Spin that. He could have spun that.
Spend it.
He could have spun that.
Purple. Hold on.
What you talking?
Hold on, y'all.
That thing.
He could have spun that.
Knickerbocker. Listen, we gotta get started because we be here for an hour. Knickerbocker just got me hyped. The purple joints was fire. Flea, the brown was so nasty. When you got that purple money, you was lit.
See, I'm a young nigga. I don't know about this. Y'all schooling
you was lit. I love it. Yeah, the doodle brown was nasty. I'm not gonna lie. That purple haze.
Fabian was the man. Had a flashback. Fabian was down there for me. Fabian just had a flashback.
I just forgot that there was different colors and wow.
That was nasty.
And I was nasty. Unlike I was not embarrassed. I didn't know. I was running down with it. Yeah.
That's insane. That's insane.
I can use some stems now. I tell you that much. Nigga said I'm broke, baby.
Right now. Give me the shits right now. Fill the fridge.
I'm broke, baby.
You feel me, baby? Fuck all that. Give me the shits right now. Let me fill my fridge. You shitting me?
Oh shit, we got my guy. Hold on, my God. Oh, Boogie Down. That's Al Beat. That ain't Al.
Boogie Down BX.
Yeah, Boogie Down. Let's go, Fabe. Let's get started, baby.
I usually wait to 50 people in the building on YouTube, but let's do what it do over here, baby Bubba. A lot of news, man. Big time news. You kidding me? We moving and grooving. Doing a thing or two over here. But hold on, let me drop the
ball suckers.
We live.
Big the biggest, y'all.
What's he getting?
The biggest. Okay, it looked like it was there. It looked like it was there.
Come on, man. Look, that listen.
Shit is tough.
Look. Yeah.
This shit tough.
Yeah. Look at the hate. Look, just like the trigger man that never forget how to do that. A shooter. Listen.
I see it. Look, I see it's tucked over there.
Yeah.
I see what you're doing.
Yeah. Look.
I see what you're doing. OG.
Look at the hate. Look at the hate.
Can you set a screen, Fabian?
Please look at the hate. Listen, I'm not gonna lie.
Can you set a screen, Fabian?
Please. We saw the footage, big dog.
Yo, we got you. Damn, we should share the footage. That's crazy. You saw? It was nasty, y'all. It was nasty. We might share that. I don't know. Fabian's the guru of this producer thing. We just gave him his flowers yesterday. We'll give it to him again. He's super producer. He might sneak that in somewhere. I don't know. He might. I don't know, but
it
was nasty footage, y'all. It was only for AllBall TV host. I don't know if I can show that to folks. It was nasty.
First of all, I wouldn't violate like that.
Nostalgic
nigga said Pusha T. I ain't gonna lie. Nigga said Pusha T got the footage. I ain't gonna lie. Hold on. Before we get started,
nostalgic.
Is Pusha T low key one of the most dangerous rappers to go against in the battle?
Yes.
You don't want no smoke with him.
Yeah. Yo,
he will up it at a drop of a dime.
All right, we had this conversation the other day, but when we talk Ice Cube Vaseline, when we talk Tupac Hit 'Em Up, is Pusha T on that level as far as don't play with him?
Yes.
Don't.
Wow.
Yes.
Don't.
Wow.
I like how you put that. There's some niggas that you just don't play with. Go ahead, Fabian. He's one of them.
Like when people talk about game, like I'm not scared of game. I don't no fear.
It's not don't play with me, but he can rap.
What is he?
But it's not don't play with me.
Pusha T is trying to hurt your feelings, bro.
Yes.
Game
like,
it says a bunch of nothing.
Before, like I said, I'm just amazed, right? Of the information he gets about people. Like as if he's in the Secret Service. Now you expect guys like Hove or like the big dogs to be able to get this information. Pusha T is getting information about people that I'm saying, how is he getting that? Leave Pusha T alone, man. Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
You saw what happened with Drake. Back all the way down.
I just see some new shit with y'all see the new shit with Travis Scott?
Yeah. Spanked him. Yeah. Don't ever try to play with me. And they and Travis tried to play in his face too. That's why, and I respect it. Like what the situation. So I respect it. That's what
I don't even know what's going on. All I know is the nigga said, "You cried in my arms, my nigga. Chill." I said, "What?"
Everybody calm down and relax.
That boy said Calabasas broke you. I said, "Yo, nigga had to do something to Pusha T, man." Real yo, listen, man. This shit is crazy. Yo.
You are hiding a child. That's why when you say the no Vaseline and that's why I fuck you fat mother. There's Nas don't want it with Hov. You know who did you know what? Like all these hit this records, A minor. There's always a little punchline. Pusha T. You are hiding a child is crazy.
It's insane.
Crazy.
Bro, he said you cried on my shoulder, bro. Like y'all like we don't understand how insane that is because every rapper, they put out this image that they the super duper toughest, and I'm just visioning you cried on somebody's shoulder as a grown man. Let's get this shit started, man.
I mean, he's a bit of a drug addict. Not for nothing.
Flea, he always just crosses the line, bro. Like
out. He just when the nigga is down, he kicks him right in his back even more. That's it. That's what he does. Look, and then he looks confused. This happens. It's just like clockwork.
No, there's no. You know what? So out of us three, who's the closest to Pusha T?
You.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Thank you, Flea.
I would absolutely agree.
So stop fucking with me and interrupting me. Hey y'all. Before we jump into the real, well, you know what? Hold on. This is Knicks Rehab. What am I talking about? Y'all know what this is.
Knicks Rehab.
Knicks Rehab, y'all.
Huh? Big news. The Los Angeles Lakers. Shout out to the Mexicans in LA, man. Big time Mexican fans. Big time LA fans, Lakers fans, and all that, man. Lakers got sold for $10 billion. Are you kidding me? Sheesh. The Buss family is selling the Lakers to Mark Walter. What a regular ass name in a record smashing $10 billion deal. The Buss family has owned the NBA team since the 1970s. And of course, they put Braun on the front page. The Lakers are changing hands. The Buss family has owned the team since 1979 and will sell a majority stake to Mark Walter. Mark Walter is an owner of the Dodgers, Los Angeles Sparks, the Cadillacs Formula One team, and he is the primary financial backer of the PWHL. Cadillac Formula One. Yeah, we talking big money now. I want to go to meet up with y'all on the Formula One thing, man. We got to get up on that. Jeannie Buss will stay on as the team's primary governor after Walter takes over, at least for a number of years. The deal values the team at $10 billion, according to ESPN. Jesus Christ. So it says here, you know, Walter's the CEO of Guggenheim Partners, TGW Holdings, also through a holding company, owns stakes through Chelsea, League One's RC Strasbourg. A lot of stuff this guy owns. Jerry Buss, God bless the dead, Jeannie Buss's father, he bought the Lakers, Kings, and Los Angeles Forum for $67.5 million, in 1979. Jeannie Buss is 63 years old and has been a governor since her father died in 2013. Damn. So they sold the team. The Buss family sold 66% majority stake. Well, Walter has had first pick at the Buss family, 66% majority stake since 2021 when he took over Philip Anschutz, 26% stake in the team. Damn, so he's been creeping up. He's been a minority owner of the Lakers. You think you are trying to sneak in an ad in here? Get out of my face. Get out of my face. Fellas, Lakers sold for $10 billion. Getting the media reaction to that, you know, the Genie, but we were talking about it offline, AllBall. Who had a better run since the Lakers since 1979? 11 championships. Ain't nobody in sports, in American sports, touching that. What's your reaction to the Lakers being sold for $10 billion?
I think that's bigger news than what people are making it out to be. We have to realize, like, you know, the Lakers, that's one of the greatest franchises in sports history. And, you know, certain franchises you think would never be sold. Remember, I told y'all maybe 2 years ago, I was like, yo, Jeannie Buss needs to step down. I didn't think, you know, she would sell. But, you know, I wonder how this news affects LUKA Doncic and LeBron James. In all seriousness, you just traded for LUKA, and now you sell the team. You know, like my brother Flea said, what's the plan? You know, what does it say about, you know, I just hired the new coach in JJ Redick. So I think this is a mess, if you want me to be honest. And guys like LeBron, remember, y'all, LUKA doesn't have to resign. Right? So, you know, how does this affect him staying with the Lakers? Remember, LeBron is an agent superstar. You know, I guess LeBron may have about 2 years. You know, the way he's looking, like, is he going to try to really push 3-4 more years? You never know, especially if somebody's going to keep giving them $50-60 million a year. So now, you know, how does this affect the basketball team? How does this affect JJ Redick, LeBron, and LUKA? I think this is going to sound crazy, and this is not trolling. This is being serious. I think this might be a great time for LeBron to exit the Lakers. LeBron now has another legit reason to go to and find what he does best, another contender, a la Dallas, a la New York, whether we like it or not. I think those are the two teams that he has a perfect excuse now to be like, oh, they sold the team. I don't like what's going on. I'm out. So I think this is we have to be very careful with this. But I think, you know, the guy that bought it, this is a great move. I think certain franchises are never depreciate, will never devalue. The Yankees, the Lakers, the Knicks, the Celtics. Like certain franchises, I'm just being honest, no matter how good or bad they are, it's always going to be a moneymaker. And this is business. And we all know LeBron is a smart businessman. And we cannot be up here and act like this news has nothing to do with LeBron James, meaning that we shouldn't be able to discuss him because he is still the biggest star probably in sports. Like, we have to be honest about that. When we talk about all the sports, what soccer, like, the most recognizable is LeBron James. So with the Lakers being sold, I don't know, to me, it feels like now, what happens? Does the new owner, does he like the direction the Lakers are going? What say so is he going to have? Like the people he's going to bring in, how do they feel about the situation? Because the Lakers, it's about winning championships. We have to like we can never forget that. Certain organizations, our Knicks, we want to win a championship, but we haven't been about winning championships since the 70s. The Lakers have been about championships since forever. So now, how does this affect LeBron and LUKA going forward, moving forward, and with JJ Redick, as far as like new ownership saying, hey, we don't like the direction this is going. You know, we have an Asian superstar. We don't want to pay him anymore. We may not want LUKA to be our guy. We may not want JJ Redick to be our guy. I really want to see how does this pan out. And I think, once again, I would love to hear Flea's opinion on this, and Fabian's also. And I want to hear the chat. How do y'all feel? I think LeBron, sometimes in life, you look for a way out, but it's difficult because you don't want to get scrutinized. But for some reason, the angels keep falling for LeBron. Now he has a legit excuse. Look, I knew Fleet was going to laugh at that. He has a legit excuse now, though, to be like, yo, I'm out. I'm out. New ownership. I don't like the direction they going. I'm out of here. And y'all got to remember, guys like LeBron James can take the minimum. He has everything. He don't need no more money. Now, I get it. It's like the Michael Jordan thing where, God Russell, the Kobe thing, where it's like, yo, I want to get paid my worth now. All these years I gave y'all a pay cut. Now, towards the end of my career, I'm going to cash out. But a guy like LeBron James can go to the Dallas Mavericks, can go to the New York Knicks for the low and win a championship. And it'll be legit. Why? Because now the Lakers just basically said, I think we're moving in a new direction. We got a new owner, and this is what it is. So I think we need to really watch out because LeBron James is very strategic, and we know he's a family man, a great businessman. And I think this right here is where now his team is getting together, and they probably going to get with the owner to see, okay, what's going on. Because now, do I have all the power that I used to have? Remember, fellas, we all work. You may have a supervisor, manager, or boss that you tight with, and then now they get fired or they move on, and you get a new person, and they look at you and go, I ain't going for none of that shit, bro. I'm a whole different caliber. So I would love to see the reaction from LeBron James and Luka Doncic as far as this new ownership. And I think this may be the writing on the wall for LeBron James to now move on from the Lakers. He got them a championship, or he made them relevant again, which is hard for them to be irrelevant. But from a basketball standpoint, they were a laughingstock for a bit. He came in there, brought AD with him, brought everything that comes along with that. And I think now, when people were making jokes, I'm gonna let Fleet cook. When people were making jokes saying that he got AD traded to Dallas because eventually he's gonna go play in Dallas with Kyrie, and now Dallas got the #1 pick. Remember, who would you rather have for a rental, Fleet? Giannis or LeBron James for 1 or 2 years? Listen, LeBron rarely gets hurt. He's still got a lot left in the tank. Pause. I know it's not defensively, but we have to be honest. I think LeBron James, this is now where you thinking, what's the best team I can go to win a championship? And I think there's 2 options. It's the Dallas Mavericks, and it pains me to say this, our New York Knicks. He, once again, for some reason, it's just a coincidence this guy can't do no wrong, man. Because now, Fleet, if he leaves and go to a contender, we can't say he jumped it. Bro, they got new management. I don't like the direction they going. Me and the new owner ain't cool. He ain't going to let me have my power. Remember, the family can't go through the door that the big dogs go. Like, Fleet, you know where I'm going. It's a lot that can go on with this. Remember, you got your crew. Remember, that they ain't got VIP access. So I would love to see what direction this is going, and I can't wait to hear like how the players feel about this. But I think this is something huge, and it needs to get more attention.
Lee, LeBron is a player option coming up. This is a big sale from the Lakers. They do have on their side the fact that there's a new billionaire guy coming in here. How many times have we seen these billionaires get fleeced? Luka and LeBron might be licking their chops like, yo, let's go get $500 million from this dumbass mother lover. What is your reaction to the sale and, you know, all ball reaction to LeBron James coming to the New York
Knicks? Nah, man. No, in all seriousness, like first thought is like, damn. Last two teams Luke was on, the owners jumped ship. Like, he in Dallas, they jumped ship, sold the team. Now he get to LA, they jumped ship, sold the team. But that's not a coincidence. It's just you know, I think that's just happenstance. It just had to happen. But
no, that's a good damn.
Yo, how many? Don't run from that, Fleet.
Yeah. How many coaches, GMs, owners done ran from Luka? Well, damn. Will LeBron be next? Will I be? Yo, hold on. Triple entendre, don't even ask me how. Let's go, Flea.
Donnie Nelson ran up out of there. Like, now they getting Jeannie Buss out of there? They get the bus feeling?
The Luka plague is bananas.
I don't know. But anyway, first of all, like, the first thought is like, you know, it's big business, man. These mom and pop shops and type businesses are taking hits because of where we really at in America right now. Let's really call a spade first before we get to the basketball part. Like, if you notice, a lot of these teams are getting sold, right? And then the Lakers are a family business. They're a family business. This is not some, like, you know, investment group that owns this and a bunch of different guys that come together and they, you know, own the team. Like, that Buss family, that's they shit. And that's they only shit. So if they could sell that for $10 billion and be good for the rest of their lives, their kids, like, you know what I'm saying? So at this point, I think for Jeannie and the family, it's probably a great move doing it right now, like getting out right now. But basketball wise, like, I think OG, you know, and this is AllBall TV, Knicks Rehab, I think OG brought it right where it needs to be. In basketball terms, this means a lot. Like, a lot of things could change now. That Robert Walter guy walking in the door, he seems to be connected to sports already. He's a part of the Dodgers, right? You said he's a part of Formula One. Did I hear a WNBA team in there or something? The Sparks. So he's already in the big business. He's already in the sports lane. I need to do my homework on this dude to see, you know, what kind of touch does he have? What's his background? Things like that. Because if he walks into the door, he's going to feel like he understands the game of basketball. Like Steve Ballmer walked through the door with the Clippers and kind of felt like, I understand the game, so now I got to start moving pieces and doing this and doing that, right? So, like you said, OG, that could very well happen, him walking through the door and saying, okay, this is how y'all was doing things for the last 60 years or whatever.
Right.
We changing some things up here. We're going to do some things different here. We still want to maintain greatness because the Laker brand is the brand, like you said, but many things could change, and that could affect, you know, basketball-related things. JJ's not the guy that I hired, right? Rob Pelinka is not the guy that I hired. Jeannie, that's your people, right? So what I'm saying is we need to understand who this dude really is and what kind of touch he wants to have with the Lakers, right? If he's taking over majority stake, that means he's walking through the door and has already seen the likes of Mark Cuban, already seen the likes of Steve Ballmer, already seen the likes of these high-profile owners who are showing their face and are, you know, kind of the face of their teams and how they did business. Mark Cuban was very involved in player personnel. I don't know how involved Steve Ballmer is. He has Lawrence Frank there. He got a couple of, you know, good minds over there. But I'm sure he's in the meetings talking about, yo, what are we bringing in? Who are we releasing? What trades are we making? What does the roster look like? I'm sure he's involved. Is that Robert Walter guy going to be that type of guy? Because if he's that type of guy, LeBron, you older, my G. It's time. Yo, Luka, the expectation. Yo, you know, so, you know, I'm gonna reserve my opinion really on him because I don't know who he is. I want to kind of do some homework on him and see, you know, what kind of hand he's gonna have on the Lakers. But basketball wise, this shit could get dicey. This shit could get real dicey. And if there any reason for LeBron James to say and walk away from the Lakers, it could be this. it could be this. The change in the hands and ownership. He's obviously established a huge relationship with Jeannie Buss. We seen him on the sideline schmoozing with the two white joints. You know what I'm saying? Like Ray Allen and what's my shit? And
he got game.
And he got game. Remember when Ray had the two joints on the college visit?
Rick Fox lined them up real nice.
You know, Rick Fox had the backwards hat just like me, walking around like that. Here, come on. You know what I'm saying? So it could very well be some things over there in LA. So, you know, I'm curious. I'm curious to see how this thing shakes out.
LeBron being up for player option will give himself the option. He has to opt out now. If it gives whatever he has the opportunity, whatever gives him the opportunity to make more money, he's going that route. This I like when Flea brought this up because Mark Walter, he runs Guggenheim Partners, which is worth $325 billion in assets. So they're a privately held global financial services firm. So that means they just invest in a whole bunch of stuff. And to me, that's why he got the Lakers, the Dodgers, and all that. The Lakers apparently back in 2011, they signed a $3 billion deal with Spectrum Sports for 20 years. So they got $3 billion in cable money. The NBA just signed an $11 billion, 11-year. What was it? How many billions was it? 770 billion. Another TV deal. That shit is a commercial for whatever that guy's doing. We see with the Knicks, like, how the hell were we relevant? How are we worth this much? And we sucked 10 years ago. We were like the most valuable franchise in the NBA. That's why I think Kevin Durant made a mistake by not going from Golden State to the Knicks, because you helped make Golden State the most valuable franchise in the league. And instead of going to the next most valuable franchise in the league, the Knicks, you went to Brooklyn. That's why if LeBron leaves the Lakers, you right, Darlene, he's either going to the Warriors or he's coming to the Knicks. You ain't all that Cleveland talk. You ain't going back to Cleveland for what? For what? You go where the money's at. You go where the most eyeballs is at. You got sneakers to sell. You got movies to sell. LeBron is big business out here, man. Like you said, old boy, he's the biggest star, but beyond that, most powerful dude in the NBA still. Out of anybody, who's more powerful than him in the NBA right now? This is major business, like you said. I did like they put, if the Lakers got sold for $10 billion, the Knicks were worth $400 million more back in November. So how much more are they worth than the Lakers? And again, we ain't win shit. Like we got Jalen Brunson to the point where he could be in LeBron's category of jersey sales and all that. I don't see why he wouldn't even use us as leverage to even sign a new deal with the Lakers or go elsewhere. Remember, Michael Jordan was trying to tease the Bulls and go, I'm gonna go join Patrick Ewing if you keep fucking around my money. You're gonna give me my $30 million. I'm giving you 1-year deals, and that's it. The last 3 seasons when he was in the NBA. Is it realistic? I don't know, man. CAA done squashed the beef with Rich Paul. You could sit down with him. Well, why? That was your family at first. Rich Paul learned from them. It's definitely, it's business, man. At the end of the day, the Knicks are good. There's no reason why you wouldn't want to be on TV for free or get paid to be on TV in April, May, June. Right now, you just said it would start the show off. The Pacers and Oklahoma City Thunder on the finals right now, and nobody cares. They're talking about the Knicks the entire day. That's what they're talking about. We're stealing all the headlines in season. Season ain't over yet. There's no way. LeBron faked his retirement again with a little fake ass commercial during the finals again. This guy's an attention whore, and there's no better place to get attention from than LA and New York. Why wouldn't you want to go from LA to New York at this point? How could you not? So James Dolan got a lot of money, a lot of connections in New York. I hear everything y'all saying. Fleo, he's standing He's standing witness. He needs more time to pass before he gets more information. That's a very reasonable position to take. Me, I'm gonna be a conspiracy theorist all the way. Why the hell not? Why the hell not? I do. Ultimately, I think Luka and LeBron robbed this guy for $700 million and take him to the bank, bro. This guy, you got that much money, bro? It's over for them, man. It's over, old boy.
But let me, and y'all both made great points. Great points, right? Big shout out to the chat. Please, y'all hit the like button. Share, like, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend. Hit that like button. And y'all know we need y'all. Remember, it's really 4 people on AllBall TV. It's us 3 and then it's y'all. So keep engaging in them comments in that chat. But I'm going to say this. This is the dark horse that nobody's talking about. Magic Johnson. Let me explain something to you. If you think LeBron James is an attention whore, what do you think Magic Johnson is? Magic loves the spotlight, loves the limelight. He wants part of everything. You not going to tell me Magic is not going to be in this young man's ear that just bought the team and is probably letting them know this is how Magic now gets back in power. Remember, they moved Magic out of it. Busted them, they did Magic dirty. Now, if Magic can cozy up with this guy, think about it. Magic is probably going to tell the owner, bruh, we don't need an agent. We don't need to be behind an agent superstar. Remember what he said when he was on First Take with Stephen A. Smith with Kevin Durant going to the Knicks? His solely purpose of that was saying because transition, they could move the ball and be quicker.
Stay there, OG. Keep going with this one, though. Respond to this. He also said that if Dolan ever sold, he'd be the first one in line to buy the Knicks.
Exactly.
First one in line to buy the Knicks. So I just wanted to remind you of that. He also said that, which I remember. When he said that, I was like, okay.
And Flea, that's a great point because there's no coincidence. All of a sudden, Magic is on First Take. For what? The Lakers ain't in the finals. For what? And then now, out of nowhere, poof, the Lakers is sold. Listen, Magic Johnson is about to be right back. Who's the ultimate Laker? Who's the greatest Laker of all time? We can argue Kobe Bean Bryant, God rest his soul, but he's not alive. Who's the greatest Laker? Showtime. Who has the biggest smile, the biggest aura, the biggest everything? It's Magic Johnson. That position Magic wanted, he wanted that bad. Remember, it was said that he brought LeBron James to the Lakers. He met with LeBron James, however, time in the night at the crib and all of that, and convinced him. Magic Johnson, he wants to be able to say, I brought the Lakers a championship. Me, not Rob Pelinka, not Jeannie Buss. So now I think Magic is going to have his hands all over this. And this is where I think LeBron James is going to exit left. Because now, remember, that Magic is going to be the one to let you know, bro, we ain't building around you, bro. We got to, you see the way the game is being played today. And then now, like I said, with Luka, LeBron, this is going to get a little sticky. And I love Darlene, but I disagree. I don't see why will LeBron James want to play with an aging Steph Curry? Like, why would I want to go to a team that got knocked out in the first round, or whatever round it was? Why not go to teams that were in the Eastern Conference Finals, in the finals, or a la Dallas that has everything? Listen, I think LeBron James, who I believe is very smart, as much as I troll and I'm not a fan of him as far as basketball. I don't know him personally, so I don't get into that. But he's very smart. He's very strategic. Let me explain something to y'all. He has an opportunity right now to win another championship. And I think it's with the Knicks or the Dallas Mavericks. I really do. And I go ahead, Fleet.
No, OG, I just wanted to drop this because the chat just said this, and this goes to your point. Magic obviously is connected with the Dodgers right now. He's part ownership. The Mark Walter dude has part. So there's an existing relationship already. So what you're saying, says a lot, right? He just buys the Lakers. Why would you not go and try and talk to Magic and advise you on what you need to be doing going forward as the owner of the Lakers. So you make a great point for sure.
In just 30 seconds, I'll let y'all cook. Think about it, Magic Johnson. Some people have him as their GOAT. Like, you gotta remember, he's top 5 greatest basketball players all time. It's no argument. When we talk about top 5, he's in there. Some people have him top 3. Some people have him number 1. That's number 1. Number 2, he's the greatest Laker ever. There's no argument with that, right? So, well, like you said, Fleet, you with the Dodgers. Y'all won 2 championships. These guys have a taste for success. When you have a taste for success, you don't want to move backwards. Magic Johnson is going to let this guy know the Laker mantra is about championships. And if we want to win championships, Fabian says it all the time, we cannot build around a 40-plus-year-old superstar. We need to play fast-paced. We need to get deep. Remember, he even brought up on First Take, yo, he said, I knew we was messed up when we gave up KCP and Caruso. He said, but especially Caruso. So Magic knows the game. And this thing right here, I'm telling you, I think is going to get ugly behind the scenes, because now this is almost going to be like a Miami Heat, Pat Riley situation with LeBron, where it's like, bruh, we not kissing your ass. We glad you do what you do, who you are, but your guy's not going to have all this and all of that. No, we not doing that. We here about big business and win championships. I think this can get a little ugly. I'm sorry. I really do. I really do. And I think this is another exit plan that I would have no problem if LeBron James goes. Any other time I'll be, but I think this is lined up perfectly for him. I'm sorry. I just think it is.
Also, the Bus family sale of the Los Angeles Lakers will have no ramifications on LeBron James' upcoming free agency decision. I'm going to say that's via Big Baby Sports. I don't care who the hell @Mick10 is. Well, real quick, keep hinting at it all, boy. That's little dance move you've been putting on us over here. You are the biggest LeBron hater this side of Skip Bayless.
Yes, I am. Proud of him.
How would you feel if he put on the orange and blue and strolled through Madison Square Garden?
Flea. Yo, Flea, I'm going to be honest. The city not ready for that, bro. It'd be, no, seriously. It would be so insane. It would be so insane that this shit will turn into the Dark Knight Rises with Bane, bro. Like, would I love it? No. But would I understand it from a business standpoint if I'm James Dolan? If I'm James Dolan, you do not turn that down, right? Because, once again, you got to think about it. Yeah, hey, Fleet, they might have to have all 82 games on national TV. That's how insane that would be. Would he help us win? Maybe. But a guy like LeBron James, which I told y'all a long time ago, all seriousness, his DNA is always, I'm the king. That's in his DNA. He will never give up being a #1 option. And to me, that will be the problem no matter where he goes. I told y'all from the gate, when AD was there, he'd never give that up. Even when Luka's there. Yeah, we know Luka's the better player now because of the youth and all of that. But LeBron James' mindset since the age of 14, I'm the guy. So for me, would I like LeBron James here if he's going to play by the pecking order like Fabian says, where you're going to be the third option? Because no matter what we say, Flea, we said he's all second NBA. He's still a hell of a basketball player. So for me, this should be like Michael. This should be like the Jackson 5 and the Beatles. See, I'm looking at it from a whole nother standpoint. It will be must-see TV by 10. Whenever y'all get a chance in the chat, YouTube the Jackson 5 at their height and YouTube the Beatles at their height. It will be that combined. With the fan base we have, bro, it'd be insane.
We ain't make the finals. You saw how we was behaving. We didn't make the finals. You saw how we was behaving. We rolled 45-year-old LeBron James to the door. New York fans are act a fool.
Michael James, I hope AllBall actually answered your question. He said he's gonna feel like the Jackson 5 and Beatles reincarnated again if LeBron James comes to the New York Knicks. He's showing his age, ladies and gentlemen, even though I have 1,000 more gray hairs than him. Flea, how would you feel if LeBron James was doing them stupid ass dances and Taco Tuesdays on 7th Avenue?
I mean, he wouldn't be doing that. But I don't know. I'll be indifferent about it. Like, I wouldn't be excited about it. We're not getting this dude in his prime, so I wouldn't be excited about it. But I also wouldn't be like, oh man, get the fuck out of here, right? We just talked about the level he's playing at still. It's not like he will be rolling in here not playing at a high level. These dudes are still playing at a high level. I just think, you know, with that comes a spectacle. With that comes expectations. With that comes, you know, like OG said, you might as well put 82 games on national TV. That's funny. That's funny, nostalgic Nick. That's funny. But yeah, like I wouldn't feel any way about it because it wouldn't be some like game changer for me. It would be a media circus, like he said, a media circus. It would just be narrative driven. It wouldn't be anything concerned about basketball. Basketball would be the last thing that we talk about if that dude walked through the door right now. And I don't like that because right now everything is about basketball for the Knicks. Everything is about putting it together the right way. So, like I said, I wouldn't be pissed, but I wouldn't be jumping through the gym about it. It would be what it is. It is what it is.
LeBron, stay your ass in California, bro. I don't want you over here. You could kiss my ass. I had enough of you. You had a chance to join us 12 years ago. Go to hell. Drag them Lakers to the ground. Go get $500 million from that this new sucker over there. You ain't suckering James Dolan, Leon Rose, and these guys. Leon Rose definitely ain't messing with you. Worldwide West ain't messing with your man. If LeBron says, yo, I'm gonna leave Clutch Sports, then I'm gonna be like, huh? Now you will come talk to Leon Rose if you want to. He ain't rocking with you. He ain't coming over here to get no money with us. Not happening. Bron. You and your family. Stay over there in LA or whatever you gonna do. I ain't with it. Care. You think I don't want Kevin Durant's 37. Why the hell would I want this bum? 45 years old. Correct. Don't care what kind of a basketball savant he is, Flea. He gonna be your guest speaker, teacher at your class that you be teaching about basketball? I will throw nothing but apples and oranges in that class. Bomb! Dressed up like one of the... Oh, I'm almost like crazy. I'm a chill. That's right, Ace Boogie. I'm in my feelings because LeBron didn't join in 2010. Correct. Just like KD's punk ass ain't joining us 10 years later. No, Charles Oakley, you will stay outside until you talk to Dolan like a man. LeBron, until you talk to Leon Rose like a man.
Fabian, is there a pre-existing relationship between Worldwide West and Rich Paul?
With CAA, the agency. Rich Paul.
No, just them two. Period.
I don't think so. Well, unless there was, remember, Rich Paul came from what I understand, him and LeBron met because Rich Paul was selling jerseys when they were in high school. That whole story. And then but they came up together, and then Rich Paul worked under him.
I wonder if there's any kind of pre-existing relationships with Rich Paul and Worldwide West, or Rich Paul and Bill Duffy, like all of those other black agents or guys that's attached to the game. I wonder if Rich Paul has any pre-existing relationships with those dudes. Like,
I think Worldwide West is more. He's probably more hurt. If I don't know them, I don't know anything about them, and read anything about this, but I feel like Worldwide West, just him being like Rich Paul looks up to him, I think. Because Worldwide West.
That's what I was wondering. What is that? Is there some kind of relationship there? Right? Because you would think that those two
black man.
But that's it, right? But you would think that, you reach back but again, I don't know. That's why I was asking, because I
don't trust Rich Paul. Like, that's how when I see him, I'm like, come on, man, this guy look Greasy little dude. No, come on, man.
Greasy little dude.
That's what he looked like to me, man. Little greasy motherfucker, man. That's what he looks like. Worldwide West is awesome.
OG about to flame him. What you got, OG?
No. I'm listening to y'all and I'm looking at the chat, right? And I'm saying to myself, we have to remember it's basketball, but it's also business. Like, you know what I mean? We can never get around that, right? But I'm saying with the LeBron James thing. Now, everybody know I'm not a fan at all. But I've never disrespected him. I never said he wasn't legendary. I've never said he's not top 10. I've never said none of that. Just not a fan of the guy, right? But let me say this. LeBron James wants to be the GOAT. If LeBron James comes to the Knicks and wins a championship, listen, man, y'all can shake your head all y'all want. If him and Rich Paul are smart, which I believe they are, you cannot tell me the conversations isn't right now saying, bro, this Michael Jordan shit is getting on our nerves. We cannot get these people to convert. But if this man comes to the Knicks, think about it. The West, the East is a little easier. There's no Jason Tatum. Giannis is upset. We already know Philly is a mess. If LeBron is strategic, what's the ready-made team right now that if you drop him there, they championship contention? It's the Knicks, the biggest market. And oh, by the way, they didn't win since the 70s. If I win a championship with the Knicks, my 5th ring, at age 48, whatever age he gonna be, the GOAT conversation will take a huge turn. We cannot ignore that. We cannot ignore that. And I guarantee you, he is not ignoring that. I don't care what nobody says. As much as I don't like him, that right there, go ahead, Fabian.
No, I just love the segue because, geez Louise, did I tell him the topic before we got online? Maybe, but AllBall don't listen to me. Either way, AllBall was discussing ring culture. Pretty sure you guys heard the topic of discussion. You guys know how I feel about this. But let's hear what LeBron has to say about ring culture and exactly what AllBall was saying about winning another ring. He talked about New York, but what does he feel about ring culture?
It's funny, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport and why it's the A-all, B-all of everything. You sit here and tell me, you know, Allen Iverson and Charles Barkley and Steve Nash, you know, are fucking wasn't unbelievable. Like, oh, they can't be talked about or discussed with these guys is because this guy won 1 ring or won 2 rings or won, like, it's just weird to me. It's like saying Peyton Manning can't be in the same room with Brady or Mahomes because he only has 1 ring. They don't never discuss that in their sport.
Right.
Or telling me that Dan Marino is not the greatest slinger of all time, or he can't be in the room with those guys because he didn't win a championship. They don't discuss those things, you know. I don't know. Did Barry Bonds win a World Series?
No. GOAT.
I don't think so.
Balco Bonds. GOAT.
I don't think so. Barry Bonds never won a World Series. So. You can't sit here and tell me that he's not the greatest baseball player to ever touch a bat. I mean, Jerry West, I think, went to like 9 straight NBA finals.
Right.
And was only able to win 1. Right. And he's the logo of our league.
Yeah.
So you can't sit here and tell me that, okay, well, because he only won 1, the guy can't be in the same room with the guy who won 2 or 3 or 4. Like, why not? This guy, he's our logo.
Mind the Game is trash. AllBall, you said it. LeBron was another ring. Might have to think of things up, but this is your thing. This is you. This is what we always butt heads. Ring culture. He's so against it. But let's not forget, he went to Miami for what? He came back to Cleveland for what? He went to the Lakers to win what? AllBall. What do you think about ring culture and LeBron's new point of view about ring culture?
This is why I don't like him. This is exactly why. This is why I'm not a fan of him, and I'll never be a fan. No, you know why? And all his co-hosts, go to hell. Y'all glaze him so much. Y'all don't have no pushback. Nigga, Steve Nash will say himself, I can't be in the same talks as Magic in them. You fucking right. You ain't got no rings, nigga. What are we talking about? Allen Iverson, Barkley will tell you himself. No, I don't belong in a conversation of the talks with the great Tim Duncans and the Magics and the this and that because I didn't win. These players would say that. The fuck are you talking about? Yo, this is what gets me mad. I understand sometimes the ring culture gets blown out of proportion and it gets exaggerated, and I'm one of the guys that does that. Okay, I can admit that. Who cares? Right? Because sometimes it's fun. But let's be realistic. You cannot compare. I don't care how great you were. We cannot say Charles Barkley was ever on Tim Duncan's level if Tim Duncan has 5 fucking championships and Barkley has none. Barkley would tell you that. We're not saying the guys that didn't win wasn't great. We're not saying Barkley wasn't a hell of a player. Some of us still say Barkley is one of the greatest power forwards we have ever seen. But big shout out my guy BC. He said when it's time to sit at some of these tables, Barkley, you just can't sit at the table. You could be in the room, but you can't sit at the table if Hakeem and Garnett and Dirk and Tim Duncan is sitting there. Sorry. You just can't. To me, that's not ring culture. That's sports. That's sports. We never said Dan Marino couldn't sling that thing. We never said Dan Marino isn't considered one of the greatest to ever throw the football. But when it comes to being the greatest football player ever, you can't sit with Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. They won. They won. And he lied. Peyton does sit at that table. Peyton has 2 championships. Peyton has 2 Super Bowls. So you lying right in our face. Listen, I don't know how people deal with him and put up with him when it comes to talking because he's full of shit. And this is why I'm not a fan of him. Because he's dead wrong. The reason why he knows he's not the GOAT is because Mike got 6. We all know that. You short. We all know that. Jerry West, God rest his soul, great. Nobody never said Jerry West wasn't great. But why he isn't considered one of the GOATs? Because you have one and his guys with 4, 5, and 6. Come on, so for me, the ring culture thing, I get it. But I think it's 2 separate conversations. You don't have to have a championship to be great. You could never diminish what somebody has done in their profession. I can never sit up here and say Allen Iverson wasn't great because he didn't have a championship. But when we talk about the greatest, remember, Flea, we used to have Allen. Some of us have Allen Iverson in our top 5 greatest shooting guards all time. It can be an argument, but some guys argue that he didn't win. If you talk about greatest power forwards of all time, we mentioned Charles Barkley. He didn't win. So the ring culture thing to me is just, it's a different conversation. We get carried away with it. I know I do. I can agree, but it's fun. But what LeBron just did, he plays. That's why that podcast title is perfect. Mind the game, because you play with people's minds. You ain't gonna play with my mind. I'll be 48 years old, nigga. My brain is fully functioning. You ain't gonna rock me. You can't be slick with me, nigga. You just sat up there and lied to everybody. And I'm gonna leave with this note. Steve Nash, you raise your hand. Why? Bruh, you would say it yourself. John Stockton would say it himself. Yeah, I'm great, but I can't be in the same breath as the Currys and the Magics and the Isaiahs. They won. Flea, the players would say that. I've heard Reggie Miller say that. Bro, these guys won. I didn't win. So for me, don't try to put people that didn't win in the same category with people that won when it comes to certain conversations. Like I said, the Robert Horry thing, he never was the guy. He was a role play guy that was great at his role, but he won 7 championships. We're not going to put him in the same category as the Kobe's, the Mikes, the Brons because he wasn't the guy. We talk about the guys that were the guy. Why is it a problem for me to say Garnett is better than Barkley? Garnett won. He won. It doesn't mean Barkley isn't great. So for me, Braun is full of shit. This is why I'm not a fan of him. And for me, he just lied to our face on YouTube. And it's just insane that sometimes people defend what he says because he know damn well in his mind, for him to be the GOAT, you have to have championships. Fuck anything else, Fleet. To be considered the GOAT. Kobe, God rest his soul, Mike, Magic, Akeem, Duncan, LeBron, these guys are considered in that GOAT conversation. Why? Because they won multiple championships. That has always been the discussion before we was born. And it's going to be the discussion when we not on this earth 200,000-300,000 years later. They're going to say certain guys are considered great or the GOAT because they won. So for me, LeBron is just trying to spin something, but you can't spin all on ball because I'm the spin master, baby. You can't get me. Nah, so listen, man, this is why I'm not a fan of him, Flea. I'm sorry. Great basketball player, but he plays too many games. And for me, you ain't gonna play with my mind mind the game. Mind your fucking business when it comes to some conversations. Fuck out here. Flea, the floor's yours, man. I ain't got time for that shit.
Flea, I don't know if you got to hear the whole thing because I know it was a clip and it was going viral. LeBron James on ring culture now, why rings matter so much, and
we gotta talk after, because when you play video, we'll talk after because something technical happens when. But we'll talk. Yeah, we'll talk after.
Okay. But he's basically not understanding why we use rings as a barometer, I
saw the clip.
Okay. Yeah. So, but us measuring it like that, someone like AllBall, Stephen A. Smith, a lot of the old media, the new media is pushing the ring culture wave. But LeBron went to Miami, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. Like, what's your reaction to LeBron saying that and AllBall saying this?
Shit. I mean, I think both parties are right. I think.
Oh, no. When you say when you say both parties,
you are the second party. Both parties is two. So that you are right. God damn.
Oh, hold on. I'm 2 for 2 today. He agreed with me earlier, and he agreed with me again. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Listen. I don't mean to cut you off, but that's a moment for me. Go ahead.
Nah. You both parties are right. I think the narrative that he's trying to push right now is factual, right? The ring culture shit is a little weird, right? It's taking on a life of its own. And I got thoughts on that in a minute. But why I feel like you're right though, OG, is that he's added to that. Like, he has added to that conversation. He understands that to be in the conversation, to be one of the greatest of all time, like the best of the best, you got to be a guy that has hardware. You got to be a guy that wins championships. The guy that you compare yourself to, the guys that you looked up to, the people that you felt like were the predecessors of this game were all in it to win championships, and multiple, right? Because once you get one, you want to get another, right? And so I just think that he needs to acknowledge that, well, maybe my views have changed, or maybe I have evolved a little bit. Recognize what you stood on when you was up there cheesing with the not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. Recognize all of that so you can at least be honest with us niggas. Because like you said, you can't fool us. You could spin Steve Nash because he wants to be there sitting in front of you. You could spin all these other niggas that don't really watch it, that, like you said, King's Speech casuals. Yes, you could spin all them niggas, but you're not going to spin us and act like you did not contribute to that conversation. So to come back now and try to soften it and say that ring culture is toxic and it's crazy, you were a part of that. You are a part of that. What you're saying is right. We need to start being able to evaluate an individual talent without talking about, team things. Winning the ring is a team thing, right? But at the same time, too, let's not act like basketball. When we're talking about a team sport, basketball is one of the only sports that one guy could swing everything. One guy could swing a whole shit. One guy walks through the door and you a championship level team. You heard what I said, y'all? When one guy swings it, it becomes a champion. So right there, it's about championships, bro. It's about winning at the highest level. But on the other side of it too, I am a big fan of the nuance of everything. Having a conversation about being able to evaluate who was better, Dream or Duncan. Not who's your favorite, who was better. And not because Duncan had 5 rings and Dream only got 2. I think that's a conversation that we could have, right? I think if you want to start talking about, well, who was better, Duncan or KG, valid conversations, right? Like, these are guys, like, you know, we comparing champions to champions, but at the same time, I don't think it's wrong to say, hey, Malone and Barkley could compare to KG and Tim Duncan. Both guys are champions, right? And the other set is not. But to say that these guys wasn't great and they can't sit at the table and talk and understand that, guess what? I was just as good as you. You happen to be a champion. You happen to be a champion, but I was just as good as you. We can have conversation. I think that's, for me, I go the other way. I don't think that there's levels, but don't disrespect these greats because they didn't have the opportunity, you know, to win a championship. There's 2 extreme sides to this argument that I think that both sides are extremely fair.
Can I just one thing, and I'll let Fabian rock just 30 seconds because I don't want to forget. The only reason why I got upset is because what LeBron just did is a bold-faced lie. Because think about this. When we talk about top 10 greatest power forwards of all time, we mention Barkley and Karl Malone all the time. We have John Stockton in our top 5. Some people have John Stockton in their top 5 greatest point guards of all time. He didn't win a championship. A lot of guys call Chris Paul the point guard. He didn't win a championship. But we have these guys, when we talk about top 5, top 10 of all time, there are guys that didn't win that are mentioned repeatedly, that we argue about all the time. So don't tell me the ring culture thing, because there are guys that are mentioned that never won. So for me, that I just wanted to make that point. I just didn't want to forget it.
Another top 5, probably the second best greatest point guard of all time. I'm biased. It's Jason Kidd. He won a ring with Dallas, but that was the end of his career where he changed his whole game up and I actually was able to hit 3-point shots and gain a jump shot that he never had in his career. And I never needed him to win a ring to say, yeah, outside of Magic, I'm taking Jason Kidd. And even if you got Magic when we start on the team, and that I'm taking him as my point guard. Not Isaiah, not Chris Paul. I don't care who you throw out there. I'm putting Jason Kidd in there. I don't need him to win a ring to show me that he D'd up and he was running the point as good as anybody ever did. So I've always hated this. I've never liked the ring culture thing. And the Michael Jordan, they made it about him. They used that 6-0, undefeated, and LeBron is right today, but he's been wrong. And he was the one who pushed this because he saw Kobe win 5 rings and how popular he was in China. And the ring culture thing, if it's so fitting because it's a ring, it's jewelry, it's materialistic, it's groupie shit. It's like a gold chain, nice car. That's what it is to me. I don't need the accolades. I'm watching the game. Kevin Garnett, y'all brought him up. Another prime example. If he gets drafted by the Spurs, this whole thing changes up. You talking about Tim Duncan, this and that. Okay, we got him as the greatest power forward of all time. He got drafted and was playing next to David Robinson. Then he get drafted Manu Ginobili. Tony Parker had Steven Jackson there. Then they drafted Kawhi Leonard. Who had that on their side while they were playing the game? That's the part that I don't understand. I don't like it because it's a lazy argument to me. What does that mean? Michael Jordan was 6-0 in the 90s. He wasn't doing that shit in the 80s at all. And he couldn't do it. How about that? If there's no Scotty, no Horace Grant, that team wasn't there, he wouldn't have won. He was known as a loser. Yo, yeah, you nice and all that, but can you win? Huh? You don't think that guy could win? It's just a stupid thing that we use because it's the easiest way to drive the game. That's just what we're human. We're just simple creatures. But LeBron messed up because of what he's saying right now. You should have been said that. You should have been said, yo, it ain't about winning the rings. It's about I want a better situation for me so that we can compete every year. I didn't have a chance to compete over there because that team was trash. You saw how the owner trashed me when I left. That's what I was dealing with. An incompetent owner who couldn't have the right general manager to get the right players around me so we can compete every year like Jordan did. Jerry Krause is not getting enough credit for putting that team together. Popovich does not get enough credit for putting that team together with the Spurs. Bob Myers doesn't even get enough credit for these Warriors. They keep trying to say Mark Jackson did it. Like, I just never liked it. I always thought it was lazy. Garnett, if I didn't finish that argument, is the prime example. What they did with the Joe Smith deal to try to give him money under the table, and they suspended all those draft picks from Minnesota, and Minnesota was terrible. Garnett had him in playoff contention. And then he gets traded to the Celtics with Ray Allen, and now you telling me he's in a conversation with Tim Duncan? Actually, he's not. I saw him go mano-a-mano with Tim Duncan, and Tim Duncan will always bust his ass because he tried that bullshit intimidation shit, and Tim Duncan looked at him like, man, you get the fuck out of here, bro. I'm going to bust your ass. He didn't fall for none of it. He didn't give up. He didn't ever do a favor for the defense. Garnett would shoot jump shots all the time. That's what I'm watching. I can tell you his flaws. He's up faking and like you think you Jordan with the fadeaways. No, go play a big man's game. There's no more centers in the game. I could break his game down without bringing up rings. How come all of a sudden he goes to Boston and now we got him on another level over Barkley and all that? How? Because he got traded with a bunch of all-NBA dudes from his class. How does that happen? How is that different than what LeBron did in Miami and all that? I've never liked it because it proves that you're a casual at that point. You're not watching the game. You're reading stats, you're reading books, you're reading profiles, but you're not watching that game. You can't tell me where Kevin Garnett's sweet spot was at. You can't tell me where he shot from the floor the most. You're not gonna do it. And that to me is the bottom line with the ring culture shit. It just never made sense to me. It's a good way to argue. It's nice for us to argue about in a barbershop and on TV. But at the end of the day, it's been a punchline on TV that after a while, it's like, what does that even mean at the end of the day? Like, what is Stephen A. Smith is a ringleader of that now on ESPN. Bro, what are you without ESPN? You think you bigger than ESPN? No, that's why your monkey ass signed with them for another $100 million. You ain't going to Fox. You're not. You're going with the big dogs. So I've always hated it. That's not what made Michael Jordan great to me, bro. When I'm watching Michael Jordan, I hated Michael Jordan. But that come fly with me and watching Michael Jordan highlights, that shit is mad inspirational. Just watching Bobby Knight say, yo, man, he's the most athletic, most skilled, most competitive person I've ever seen in my life. Basically, all I'm saying is that that's the best basketball player I've seen in my life. At 22. Best basketball player I've seen in my life. Damn. That to me is we talking about skills. We talking about what somebody does, a professional. He took the game seriously. And I like what y'all say. After you win a ring, is he going to come back and win again? Because Pat Riley talked about it, the greed for more, and people lose the hunger. So to see someone like Michael Jordan make an enemy out of you and just make up beef just to inspire himself to get going for the next game, bro, he's showing you the combination of what it takes to be a sicko on that level to compete. Forget it, like the winning part, it should come with that when you're that great. And that's the part LeBron is missing. Bro, you just not competitive like that at the end of the day. You sound soft. You always been soft, if we're being real. Like, and we talking about the elites of the elites. That's why Jason Tatum, there should be no Brunson shouldn't be better than you. SGA should not be better than you. They shouldn't be in your class, but you doing a defensive favor. I'm watching your game. That's what I'm breaking down. So I don't care that Jason Tatum won a ring. We still got SGA over him, and he didn't even win a ring. How did SGA get an MVP before you? So these things to me is like I'm watching these guys get better every season. That's why I've always hated that. Michael Jordan got better every year. We're forgetting this shit, man. Tyrese Halliburton going to the conference finals and the finals. I don't care what you feel about him. Dog, that's ill. We're watching a guy who does everything it takes with his skill set to make his team better. and he got the right team to surround him with the right system. And now look where they at. 2 games away from winning the championship.
Well, listen, all I'm going to say is this. LeBron James, sit across Giannis and say that shit. Like, guys want rings. Jeff Teague said it himself. Giannis want to be on a team where every year he's competing for a ring. God rest his soul, the great Bill Russell. What's the first thing they bring up about Bill Russell? Got 11 of them things. Like, so for me, ring culture has always been a thing. We don't have to like it, but it's always been a thing. But like I said, sit across Giannis Antetokounmpo, put him where Steve Nash is at, and have that conversation, and see where you gonna go with that. Listen, bro, we ain't gotta like it, but it puts you on another level, and it's always been like that. And it's just, for me, when it comes to certain conversations, you have to win. I'm sorry, you have to win. LeBron is considered what he is because he has 4. If LeBron James had 1 or 2 rings, he would not be considered the GOAT. He just wouldn't be.
Right, but again, by who? Because if Giannis is sitting across from LeBron's gonna tell him what? The rings don't mean nothing. That, like, what's the conversation? Because what is he gonna, like, Giannis is gonna sit there and go, I want to win because I give him my, like, it's different coming from him, who we know gives it his all no matter what. He doesn't need to win another ring to move up anywhere else, because if he doesn't get the right team, he's not going to. And because in our mind, everybody talking about basketball, because we're doing that, LeBron had to go to Miami. Giannis is going to want to leave Milwaukee now. It doesn't change how I feel about him. Kevin Garnett winning in Boston never changed my mind about Kevin Garnett, bro. I saw what you did. You couldn't intimidate Tim Duncan. You couldn't bust Tim Duncan's ass. You couldn't. Tim Duncan should not have been better than Chris Webber, Rasheed Wallace, Kevin Garnett. None of them do.
Slow down. I mean, you've been saying that a little too confident over the last 2 minutes. I need to slow you down a little bit. Like, slow down. Tim Duncan is great, but to sit there and say that, like, he stopped Kevin Garnett, he stopped Chris Webber, he stopped Rasheed Wallace. Slow down, big dog.
Not what I said.
All of these guys. Hold on. All of these
not
guys. Well, when I'm saying, I'm just saying, don't lie to the people. Like, these guys struggled against Tim Duncan. Was he a better? So what are you saying?
I'm saying that he was better than them. Period. And he
just
should
flat out. Just flat out. No.
Who's ranking Kevin Garnett? Okay, so
there's a conversation that could be had when we're talking about who's better, Tim Duncan, and that's when the ring culture shit starts happening, because the blanket look is Tim Duncan got 5, so he's just flat out better than a nigga like Chris Webber who ain't never sniffed an NBA Finals, or a dude like Rasheed Wallace who never, who ain't got multiple championships, right? But that ain't it. If you can assess Tim Duncan versus Rasheed Wallace, there's a conversation. Tim Duncan versus Kevin Garnett. These are all conversations. He ain't just flat out better. And that's where the nuance comes in. We can have a conversation, not, oh, he just got 5 rings, so Tim Duncan is flat out better. I think that's bullshit. That's
but again, I'm not basing that on no rings. I'm talking about one-on-one Garnett versus Tim Duncan. One-on-one Rasheed Wallace versus Tim Duncan. And Rasheed used to give everybody buckets, but it depended on the night.
Including Tim.
Yeah, she was tough, but he didn't do that every night against everybody. Duncan did it against anybody. Big difference. He showed up every night when it mattered. He was putting up 30 and 20 in the finals. He was carrying that franchise for years.
Sure. I ain't arguing that.
So right, but I even said Kevin Garnett didn't have the same luck Tim Duncan did. Things might change if Kevin Garnett was with San Antonio. It might, but his play style for me, I'm not favoring that over Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan was not letting up like that. He used to shoot some jump shots, but not as much as Garnett. Not as much as Chris Webber. These dudes was Rasheed Wallace used to settle. Tim Duncan ain't settled like them. So when I'm talking about their skills, that's what I'm talking about. I don't bring up rings. Still, I have yet to bring that up. And defensively, he anchored the defense for longer than they did. That's how I see it. Because Garnett at his peak, he could guard more positions. Tim Duncan can't guard 1 through 4 like KG. KG in this era will be bananas, better than AD and all of them. But offensively now, you settling too much. Tim Duncan, he's punishing you. Every possession, he's looking for the best shot, the best pass, the best play. Garnett wasn't that for me. So that's what I based it on.
You are forgetting a ton.
You are
forgetting a ton.
I was proving wrong in real time.
You cooking. So I don't want to interrupt you, but you are forgetting almost a whole era.
You violating KG, bro.
I'm not violating KG.
Kevin Garnett evolved into a guy that added a jump shot to his repertoire. Kevin Garnett, for the first 6 years of his career, probably attacked the rim way better than any guy at his position. Are we kidding right now? Like, nah.
Okay, so let me put it
came out of high school.
Right. Let me put it a different way. Kevin Garnett, Chris Webber, Rasheed Wallace, Tonio McDyess, all in power forwards are more talented than Tim Duncan.
For sure.
More talented.
No. Maybe more athletic. They not more talented.
But that's what I'm speaking to. Tim Duncan
But athleticism and talented is two different, totally two different conversations.
For sure.
Right, but that's the reason why in his prime, Tim Duncan ain't fucking with Akeem Olajuwon.
No. Hold on. It stated that I was about to just say, if we do throw out the rings, there's an argument. Akeem will wipe all of them out the frame.
One of them.
No, see, hold on. For you, for me, I don't need the rings to show me that Akeem Olajuwon in his prime. Tim Duncan ain't messing with him because he could do what Tim Duncan is doing without the passing. Because Tim Duncan is a way better passer than Akeem Olajuwon. Score just what he was on the offensive end. He can get you the same shots that Duncan is getting you, but now I can jump higher than you. I can put a little more razzle dazzle than you because I'm more athletic and I got the same better footwork than you do. So that's what I'm saying. I don't need to go to the rings to prove all that. I don't throw the rings into the equation. For me, it's not it. But KG should have been watching more Akeem Olajuwon tapes. Chris Webber, you kidding me? He should have been better than all of them. Had a handle, could pass better than everybody.
Yeah, but to KG's defense, you brought up a point that, like you said, Minnesota, just how they got bamboozled with the Joe Smith thing.
Yeah.
And the way they ran KG into the ground. By the time he got to Boston, listen, bro, he was done physically, mentally. And think about this. Boston should have won 2, maybe 3 championships, but some things happened with them as well, with guys getting injured and things like that. So I think, the KG conversation is very tricky, but I agree with Flea. KG was out of control, bro. Like, what he did offensively and then just turned into a defensive monster. Like, you can't forget all of that stuff. I'm sorry. And I think you being a little too harsh on KG right now.
The settling for jump shots is like, for me, and you've said that for a while now, and I think it's a ridiculous take, to be honest. I think you need to take some time and go back and look, because at no point in his career did I think he's settling. Could he shoot it? Absolutely, because he just got better, so he was able to do that. But that's what he went to? Nah. Hell, letting guys off the hook?
Yes, 1,000,000%.
Agree with that.
I see David Smith in there. You know who settled? You know who's settling? Fucking Carl Anthony Towns. That's what you call settling for some shit.
I'm not saying he's Carl Anthony Towns by any means, but
I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying
but it was a lot of that, a lot more of that, and that stupid shimmy shake he used to do in the left low block. I know his game. You're not telling me about Kevin Garnett.
One move that we see,
right? But he did it too often. Tim Duncan is shot off the glass. It's another day at the office. Ain't nothing flashy about this. And all I'm saying is that someone like Olajuwon had that, but he had the athleticism. Garnett didn't do that. I'm watching him. I'm like, I was more of a KG fan than Tim Duncan. I didn't want him to be in it, but then I'm watching Tim Duncan go up against mano with Shaq. Oh shit! And don't get me wrong, what Kevin Garnett did with Troy Hudson, Spreewell, that first round against the Lakers was crazy, and they lost.
As soon as they got a good team that was in the conference finals, as soon as they got a competent team, they were in the conference finals.
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. I'm not, again, we talking about the greatest. So it's gonna sound like I'm being, but again, I didn't mention no damn rings. That was my whole point in this damn argument. That was my whole thing right now. Oh boy, I had to bring it up. And I didn't even touch that topic. That's how I'm comparing them. And that's really the whole point in all this. I got Tim Duncan better, but I don't need the rings to prove that to me. I'm talking about their games. So, I mean, the other parts of that is, who the hell is mentioning a player in your top 15 that hasn't won a ring? That's the argument that everybody kills me with. When you talk about ring culture, now name your top 15, 20 players and see if they have a ring or not.
But that's what I'm saying. It's two sides. It's two sides to this argument that are valid sides to it. It ain't, it ain't nothing wrong with being able to stand on the fact that you're a winner, because that's exactly what you're standing on. All right, fuck ring culture. Let's switch up the terminology. I'm standing on the fact that I win, and I win at the highest level, and I'm always the last man standing when it's all said and done. Ain't shit wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, the fact that I'm the last man standing in a team sport should not put Patrick Ewing in a position where he's not talked about with David Robinson, Shaquille O'Neal, Hakeem Olajuwon. That shouldn't be why he can't be talked, because Patrick was great. So,
And I don't think about rings when I think about David Robinson. I think of Stephen A. Smith threw that term the other day. I think he underachieved. He's the 10 man out there. Like, he looked crazy. David Robinson?
The 10 man.
Tim Duncan should not be better than David Robinson. Just looking at them, you go, there's no way I'm drafting Tim Duncan over David Robinson. This guy looks like a machine.
Have David Robinson? You have Tim Duncan a better player than David Robinson?
He might be. Yes. None of us have. Do you have? Have you ever heard David Robinson in anybody's top 30 players ever?
Top 30?
Top 30.
There's no way you have a top 30 list without having David Robinson in there.
You might. All I'm saying is you might not. You might not have him on there. Tim Duncan's in everybody's top 10.
Brother.
Like,
brother. If you don't have David if you're saying a top 30 list of the best NBA players of all time, and David Robinson is not in your 30, you got to revisit the list. And that ain't me. That's just basketball. You got to revisit the list.
Maybe, but when you start mentioning these names, even Patrick Ewing, and then you forget about Moses Malone. Like, the way they talk about him, to me, the most underrated ever because of the way they talk about him. And I'm not even thinking about the 4-4-4, even though that puts him into another legend. To AllBall's point, the 4-4-4 puts Moses Malone on a different upper echelon for a lot of people because he went to Philly and turned that thing around. But before that, he was busting Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's ass. I saw the footage. I saw the stats first. And I started watching the tape. I'm like, this fundamental whack-ass looking game, he's killing Kareem.
Can somebody just please highlight what David Smith just said?
Which one?
I can't see what he said.
Oh, dear Lord.
Couldn't win any.
Don't respond. Just leave it alone. I just asked him to highlight something. That's all.
Whatever.
I would think that that's AllBall's burner account, but he's way too much for Cat still to be AllBall's burner account.
Whatever.
No, it just sometimes feels good when it's just one person out there that just thinks like you. Because when I say those things, everybody's against me. But big shout out David Smith, Flea, Fabian. How long have I been saying that? And I don't know who David Smith is. I don't know what that is. But for somebody to just bust out pause and say that, and I've been saying that forever, just was funny. That's all. We ain't got to delve into that.
I pay attention to the people that agree with me and the people that say things that are similar to me. This is a man that said Karl Anthony Towns is better than Patrick Ewing. This is a man that's in the comments saying that Trae Young is the new age John Stockton. We should go trade for Trae Young. We're a championship level team. So if you have bonded with brother David Smith over Popovich and Belichick takes, God bless you brothers on being able to bond over that shit. Because I'm not listening to fucking, we love David Smith, but I'm not listening to that nigga. I ain't doing it.
Listen, man, great spirited conversation, as they say in the record books. I reads, my brothers. I reads. Before y'all go, I did want to talk about why they hate the Knicks so much. Yeah, I'm stealing y'all for a couple minutes. Scratching nose, all you want to, AllBall. Flea got to go to work tomorrow. Flea, you got some time?
Juneteenth, baby. Start understanding what Juneteenth is.
I got to work tomorrow. I got to work on getting some rest. I'm going to sleep, baby.
Love it.
We'll get some rest after this. Bob Myers got something to say about the Knicks coaching situation. That's right. Former general manager of the Golden State Warriors, who's now on TV, ducking the question, Flea, about why did Mark Jackson get fired from Golden State Warriors, Bob Myers? We're not letting up. Hopefully this video goes viral. We flame their ass.
Who asked him? Play this. I hope.
No, they didn't ask. Whoa. They didn't ask him. He's just explaining. He's talking about the Knicks, but he's not talking about Mark Jackson. He's still ducking the smoke. Is my point.
Oh,
and we want him to answer the question.
he's
But
a punk.
he is, and you might find more of a punk after he talks about the Knicks in this segment and about where we are with the coaching situation and maybe what the league thinks about the New York Knicks.
Instead of saying denied,
why don't you say, what do you offer? Of course.
Now, if it's Kerr, I'm not doing it no matter. Yeah, but okay, if it's a guy that's won 4 championships, I'm probably going to be like,
I mean, you can't say 4 first-round picks.
No, okay. But all these other guys, like, not to, they called a lot of, they didn't call, as far as I can tell, they didn't call Kerr. So they didn't call him. But for the other guys they called, I mean, I'm going to, by the way, once they say to you, I want to talk to your coach, I'll be like, okay. Before we, like, just out of curiosity, like, I'm probably going to say no. Yeah. But what for what? Exactly. And if they go, perfect. That's what I say. They go, well, you know, we were hoping, and I'd be like, no. You called for a guy that's under contract. That's right. With me. I get it. I'm not telling you not to call. Call me. That's your job, Leon. I'm not upset. So what? What for what? Yeah. And then he goes, I mean, you guys are in the meeting a little bit more than me. Frank knows New York. Have they offered anything to anybody?
No. No one has said that.
So to me, I'd be a little bit like, so you're kind of jacking up my own situation here. Great call. And you're not offering anything? Yeah. I'm like, because now the world knows you can't keep anything quiet anymore. No. So now everyone knows you called on my coach. So now my coach is going to come in and want more money. Yeah. So you're screwing it up for me. So you better offer me something. Yeah.
Yo, Frank Isola, I met you at the Barclays Center and everything, bro. You be on some sucker shit on Twitter and all that shit, man. If in case you didn't hear, because the volume was a little low, Bob Myers was saying that the Knicks are driving up the price for coaches when they call around the league asking for permission to talk to them if they want a head coaching job. AllBall, what's your reaction to Bob Myers shitting on the Knicks just like everybody else is?
For one, he needs to button up one more or put a t-shirt on. Like, we don't want to see all of that. I don't know what he's trying to put out there, but we don't want to see that, brother. You and Richard Jefferson, button all the way to the top. Stop showing your chest. That's for one. For two, Bob Myers, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about, bro? I'm being honest. He's terrible on TV. Why is he on TV? Like, seriously, he gives no information. He talks about nothing. What are you doing? But listen, why would you not hate something that you think isn't good, but for some reason you can't put your finger on it? Why is it so great and legendary? Think about it. We New Yorkers, man, we obnoxious, we loud, we arrogant, we the brokest people in the world, but we'll tell you why you riding in your Phantom, man, that car ain't shit.
That shit ain't.
We ain't got train fare. Listen, man, the New York City way, you have to be one of us to understand. And everybody wants to understand, but they can't. These guys don't understand why we go berserk when we win one game in the first round playoffs. They don't understand why the Knicks is still one of the greatest franchises ever, and we haven't won since 70 whatever. So it's easy to hate on that. It's very easy. But with Bob Myers, I'm starting, I can't really watch him. Like, you would expect a person like that to maybe have a segment to delve deep into, you know, his position and what he did for Golden. Like, I just don't understand him anymore. But that little whatever they just did, that shit looked so phony. Like, all of them laughing, acting like they like each other. It was weird. But what do you mean the Knicks is driving up the price? No, we see some coaches we want to talk to, and we may want to be the head coach, and we're being respectful about it. Not like y'all sneaky motherfuckers. Remember, New Yorkers, we bold. We gonna ask you to your face. I want to holler at J Kid. We ain't gonna go behind your back and do the sucker shit that guys like Bob Myers looks like they do. He look like he's sneaky. So for me, man, fuck Bob Myers, man. Sorry.
If I like your joint, I might holler at that right in front of you, baby. I don't know.
Thank you, Fleet. Yeah, fuck.
If it's like that, and I don't know you, gang, but baby, what's up? Are you happy?
Hey, Fleet, look, you look like you ain't even with him. What up, fam? You all right, sweetie? What's your name? How you go? Oh, my fault, brother. I ain't know you was with her.
Didn't even know you was with a big dog, but my apologies. You hungry? Okay. But I mean,
all comments are reserved, are meant for entertainment. They do not represent AllBall TV, ladies and gentlemen. Continue, Flea. I'm sorry.
Listen, man. I take a different stance with this. I think I hope we not going in there just flashing and acting like we fly, right? I hope we going in there saying, hey, I want to holler at J Kid, but this is what I have to, I'm bearing gifts. Like, this is what I have to offer. Like, you got to do something to make something enticing, to have, have some kind of conversation. So I do understand that. Like, don't go in there just thinking that you are the New York Knicks and whoever is under contract is going to look at their roster and say, no, I like that roster over there. No, like, you can't do that. You got to come to the table with something. And I think a guy like Bob Myers is a guy that could give us a modern day look at what those type of conversations look like. And so, like he just said, if he got a call from Leon to say, yo, I'm interested in Kerr, well, okay, what you got? Right? I think that that's a fair question to rebuttal with. Well, what you got? Well, what we looking at? Well, what did you want to do? Because he's under contract. If he wasn't under contract, you wouldn't have nothing. You didn't even have to talk to me. But because these guys got jobs, it's like, all right, I got to be upfront. But here, I'm coming with this, and this, whatever that is. And our cupboard ain't really like fruitful right now. When we don't got a lot that we want to part with, in terms of like, if we got to sacrifice players for a coach, what players would y'all sacrifice for Jason Kidd right now? If they ask for a player in return, what would you realistically? Don't tell me Kolick and Deuce. Who would you say?
Mikal Bridges.
Okay.
That's kind of crazy. I was gonna say, like, I was gonna say some bum off the bench, man. You crazy? Mikal Bridges, just trade Mikal Bridges. I mean, it does take money off the books.
I'm just saying, man. I think it's a valid point to ask.
Listen, if you could get a J Kid and one of them young hot flies, lobbies, like I know it sounds berserk, but I'm just, but like if it could be one of those, get Mikal Bridges the fuck out of here. I'm sorry. I'm definitely not a fan of him, whether he comes back or not. I'm yeah. So Flea, the answer to your question, Mikal Bridges for me for sure.
I never thought about that because I'm not big on I just lauded him. I love Jason Kidd, but just Mikal Bridges is crazy. That's nuts.
What you giving up for? What you think they would call? Not call for, but what you think they would ask for? Well,
draft picks. One of the young guns. The kid, Hug Purdy or Kohler, got to be probably on the table for them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. And I'm sure that would be fair, right? Because if you're the Knicks and you're looking at their roster,
Tory B, you are 100% correct. That's right. Right now, Tory B, me and you on the coaching staff for Mikal Bridges, I'm taking that. How about that? She 100% correct.
Flea, that will be the dog days of the Knicks returning. What is all talking about? Let's just keep our day jobs, guys. Flea, I'm sorry we cut you off.
Nah. I was done, man. I was good.
But you made a good point because it's like, Bob Myers, why you acting like you don't know how business works? What the fuck are you talking about? I call up your coaches. I'm going to talk to them anyway. What are you talking about? How about that? I'm Leon Rose. Everybody was my client. If I can't get their number, I got a player's number that will get in contact with them for me. That's how this works. Who are you? You ain't no agent. You play at UCLA. He become an agent? Nah, he wasn't. I don't think he was an agent. But
who, Myers?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, you wasn't no damn Leon Rose. Let's get that straight.
Go look at his client list and come back.
He's not beating LeBron James, Allen Iverson, Carmelo Anthony,
That's a
Chris
fact.
Paul.
That's a fact.
He's not fucking with this.
I just said go look, Ray. That's all. It ain't.
His agency was bought out by CAA, which is damn near the biggest agency in the world. You're not on this level. I can get your coach's number if I wanted to. I could go golf with him if I wanted to. What you talking about, Bob Myers? And you know what makes this even worse? You talking about, yo, if I'm a general manager or owner, I'll be pissed because he's driving the price up. You know who ain't mad? All them coaches you just mentioned. All them coaches are now in my favor. They're like, yo, Leon, good looking. That text went out that night from a friend of a friend. Yo, tell Leon I said, yo, good looking. That's how business works, bro. Now we got them in our good graces. Now they're going to talk about around the league like, yo, what you think about the Knicks? I don't know, but they got me some money and I didn't even play for them. They're playing a different ball game over there. All the hate keeps coming out with the Knicks now, and all y'all keep talking about is the Knicks. And there's an NBA Finals going on. Must we remind you guys? We have to, because it's trash. As AllBall said earlier.
The Knicks are going to shock us with the hire.
Right?
I promise y'all that. And it's going to be one of two things. It's going to be a huge, like, disappointing shock, or it's going to be one of those shocks where we're like, oh, they nailed this shit.
It's either or. It's either or.
Ain't no in between with this shit, man. They either going to, like, nail this shit, or we all three of us going to be up here, and everybody in the chat will be like, yo, what the fuck is this?
This is my last point. Whoever we hire, nobody's going to like it. Listen, man, as New Yorkers, we're never satisfied, bro.
That's a fact.
Unless we could dig up Red Auerbach, unless we could get the Phil Jackson from the Chicago Bull day. Like, bro, it don't matter whether it's J Kidd, whether it was Pop coming back. Like, it doesn't matter. We're never going to be satisfied. And Flea and Fabian, y'all said something that we had a couple shows ago. I don't give a damn who they bring in. I want to win a championship. Now, you know, we do have our ideal coaches, but I just think whoever we bring in, if we bring in J Kidd, look, Fabian don't like that. If we get Steve Kerr, some people may not like that. We bring Brian in. Like, we're never going to be satisfied. That's why the hate for New York City is always going to be there, bro. Watch.
Nah, bro. Steve Kerr, Udoka, Spoelstra. These names we're gonna get hyped over, regardless if we're overhyping it or not. Those names, they might not be available.
You telling me people are not gonna find a reason? Those names you just brought up, I agree. But you telling me there's not gonna be a plethora of people that's gonna find a way to say, why the hell did you hire him as a coach?
We got 3 people on the screen right now who will yell at the top of their lungs at each other with 3 different topics and end up agreeing at the end of the day. Yes, there will be people who disagree with that, but I think if you get Steve Kerr, Udoka, Spoelstra, especially if it's Spoelstra or Steve Kerr, but Spoelstra's the one that we're all gonna go like, oh, we got Pat Riley back. There's a story behind that. And Udoka, with those names, we will drown out anybody else until they start playing games, real games, in the NBA next season. I think we're gonna be excited over that. Hold on, yo, Flea. I don't know. Does it sound like to you that AllBall kind of misses Tibbs?
AllBall suckers.
Yo, it's good seeing y'all tonight.
Are we live?
It was a great show. Big Flea. Never the little one. Never the little one. Bigger show. Go call that nigga when you get off screen and apologize to him. Go call that nigga when we get off screen and apologize to that nigga.
You know what I miss about Tibbs? Cursing his ass out through the TV. That's what I'm gonna miss. Miss no fucking Tibbs.
Y'all know what this is.
Knicks Rehab.
Knicks Rehab, yo.
Catch y'all late. Well, Thursday. Should have a afternoon with AllBall.
Oh yeah. We might get something about 2 o'clock. Let's see. I'm hit my brothers up and see if they busy. We may give them an hour. We'll discuss that later on. Yeah, we might act crazy in the afternoon for about an hour.
Juneteenth AllBall?
Juneteenth?
I like it. What is June? Why are we celebrating Juneteenth? Hurry up. When do y'all niggas tell me?
I ain't been in school in 30 years. You ain't gonna put me in school.
Get us out of here.
Hold on. Before we get out of here, people paid to speak to us today. I'm sorry. Myth, thank you for your $5. If LeBron signs with the Knicks, Stephen A. Smith will pull out the rest of his hair. Best Buy. Sorry, y'all. Best name in the business, man. Best name in the business. Come on, Best Buy, and he's getting the super chat. Nah, come on, man. Y'all got listen. Y'all gotta step it up with the YouTube name. That's. I'm sorry. Special place in my heart. Thank you for your $9.99. Nah, Flea. Let them pay the bag. Flea, hands down, you're a teacher to the game. I'm in first class. So Best Buy's gonna be in your class. You gotta start. That was a weak ass wink. Work on you. Go in the mirror tonight and work on that wink, man.
I don't need no fly wink for you niggas. I get winky for who I need to get winky for. Relax, man. Chill. Just chill.
It's Wednesday.
Look,
you got 2 days till Friday night to work on that bullshit, man.
I got you.
Don't be embarrassing like that.
I got you, baby. I got you.
Hey, tomorrow. Love you. AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.